It has been posted on the district website, and Dr. Palmer this time is going to walk us through the district safety plan and answer any questions may come about. Without further delay, I should say, Dr. Palmer, it's in your hand.
Good evening, Board of Education members, Superintendent Mott, and members of the Poughkeepsie School community. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you tonight. I'm here to present an overview of the district-wide safety plan for the 25-26 school year. Our mission is to be champions of children, supporting the whole child and preparing every student for success in a diverse world. That work starts with safety. A secure, welcoming environment is the foundation for learning, growth, and opportunity. This safety plan helps us live out that mission every day. The full district-wide school safety plan is available for review on the Poughkeepsie City School District website, so all members of our community can stay informed and engaged in supporting school safety. As part of our ongoing commitment to a safe, secure, and supportive learning environment for all students, staff, and visitors, and in accordance with the SAVE Act, the Poughkeepsie City School District is holding this public hearing to share the draft of the 25-26 district-wide safety plan. This plan details how the district prepares for and responds to emergencies to ensure everyone's safety. The plan will be formally adopted by the Board of Education by September 1st. Schools face many potential emergencies, from violence to natural disasters. To help address these, New York State created the SAVE law. In response, our superintendent and board formed a district-wide SAVE committee made up of school community members to develop and regularly update our safety plan, ensuring we're prepared to respond quickly and effectively. The district-wide safety plan is a public document reviewed every year by September 1st. It outlines important policies and procedures covering everything from threat response and violence prevention to communication with law enforcement and families. The plan also includes training for staff and security, protocols for emergencies like bomb threats or intrusions, and ways to identify and address potential risks early. Overall, it provides a clear framework to prepare for, prevent, respond to, and recover from emergencies. At this time, the updates to the safety plan mainly involve clarifying staff roles and responsibilities to strengthen our safety efforts. After the district-wide safety plan is adopted, each principal will lead a team to create a tailored emergency plan for their school. Together, these plans make up our district's full safety strategy. We also share updated plans with local responders and state police to stay prepared as a community. Thank you for your time.
Board members, are there any questions pertaining to the district safety plan that's been presented this evening by Dr. Palmer?
What date are we required to submit the safety plan per building? What date is that?
I know this plan has to be approved by September 1st. I'll confirm the date for you.
Okay, because as a requirement by the board, we're supposed to review those in executive session.
So,
say it again. Okay, so as a follow-up to this, because this is a reminder, we should probably schedule an executive session to review those building plans. So if I could make a formal request, board president, that we allocate.
Well, let's do it before, which is the next working session? The executive session.
September 3rd.
We could do it. Will we be prepared to do it by September 3rd by building?
Well, we have to give the buildings time to draft them as well, so.
Okay, let's back into it
Yeah,
then.
I would.
When will they be ready is a better way of asking a question.
We have to upload them by the 15th. So. Submit by the 15th.
Of which month? October. All right, so.
And one executive session, just to say, wasn't enough, in my opinion, to thoroughly, at least the way I like to look at things. And really.
When would we have it in our hands?
So how about,
That's almost to a certain extent, if we know when we'll have it and we can make comments, feed them back before executive session. So when we don't read the plans to each other during the executive session, we can at least see the patterns in between buildings and so when would you be able to get it in our hand?
I mean, I think maybe perhaps as a follow-up, you and the superintendent can discuss that. And then whatever mechanisms that
Yeah,
we use to
all right.
decide on that.
because
But I just want to make sure that it's on our radar to complete.
yeah, what I was going to share is many of the buildings already have a plan. We just have to modify and update them. So we fully anticipate somewhere around the September 15th, we should have the plans available to review in time for questions and revisions for our October 15th deadline to submit. So that's going to be my target date. I'm saying that openly to Dr. Palmer, and I have a couple of principals I know that are in the audience today. We should have those complete by then.
And looking at it from this side of the fence and having time to review it, I almost want to say, you know, the 1st of October, we should have something that we can start to review. Not do it in executive session so we can read it before the executive sessions and make our comments to bring to the executive session and ask the questions. Does that work for you, Fatima?
Yeah, I just want to make sure there's ample time
That's what I'm
allocated
saying.
because.
If we have it in our hands, the first week, you know, and we can read it as opposed to the ones that sometimes show up on.
Those things are confidential. You're supposed to read it in executive session only. They cannot leave our hands for nothing. They cannot be out there for nothing. Those building.
Which is why
safety
I'm bringing
plans
up the point
have
that
to be done in
we have to
executive
make
session.
sure.
Well,
Yeah.
or we could, or we can come in and view them independently.
No, we have to do it in executive session.
No,
My
we can't.
understanding is that we are required to do it in executive session as a board.
I'll get a clarification.
That's
I
great.
don't know if we're allowed to read it and then go into executive session and
Yeah.
discuss our points. You know, make notes, get everything ready, and that would perhaps facilitate.
That's what I started off saying is that you and the superintendent will decide on that. My only request is that because they take a while to review, that there be sufficient time allocated
Yeah,
for executive session rather than a 5:15 to 6:30. I can assure you that's not gonna be enough
and-
time to look at 7 buildings.
and I'm hoping that once we view, if you get one earlier than that, we could come in
We'll work on
and
that.
review.
Yeah,
it.
whatever you work
Yeah.
on, I just am
Okay.
asking for enough time.
Greg, I just think we just want to review it and
That's
then,
all.
yeah, that's it.
I
We just
got-
want
I-
to review.
No, I
That's
get
it.
it. We'll get
Yeah.
the plan so we can.
So you have a copy somewhere in the building and we could come in and look at it.
Thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
But after there becomes the district-wide safety plan.
Has anybody come to this meeting to make comments on the safety plan? Any public comments on the
Very good.
process or whatever?
Very good.
All right. Now can I ask for citizens' comments on any of the other agenda matters? Do we have anybody sign up to make a statement? No, all right. Superintendent report, moving right along.
Moving right along. Thank you, Mr. President, again. For my superintendent report today, I have a collection of our team members here with us today, and I'm very grateful to them, each of them, for taking time out of their schedules to join us this evening to speak in reference to our readiness for the opening of school. We are 2 weeks away. And as my team make their way to the microphone, each of them will have a part in this superintendent presentation. We're going to begin with our Division of Instruction. Ms. Turner will speak to readiness for the elementary schools. We're going to speak a little bit about our orientations. We're going to speak a little bit about our, give an update, I should say, on our UPK enrollment numbers, followed by Dr. Palmer again is going to give an update on her department. Mr. Hanreddy will conclude with Ms. Lakai, and I'll come back after the cabinet members speak to address any question of the board and community. So I'll turn it over at this time to Ms. Turner, who will speak about elementary education. So we do know before she takes the microphone that our mission is always to champion, be champions for students. It is our objective consistently and always to put students and families first. What you see displayed is our mission statement. If you can go to the next slide. What we will highlight and have highlighted are key words and phrases in our mission statement: champion high quality paths to success. So members at this time of my cabinet will speak to their body of work. And once again, after they conclude their presentation, we will ask questions, answer questions that you may have. So without further delay, Ms. Turner, it's in your hands.
Okay, good evening, President Creedon, fellow board members, Superintendent Mott, and the members of the Poughkeepsie School community. It's my pleasure to have the opportunity to share with you this evening the array of events that our leadership team has developed in preparation for the opening of school. The newness of the beginning of the year is always exciting and also brings a little bit of anxiety as students are transitioning from the familiarity of last year to the different grade, different setting, or the traditional transition from elementary to middle school to high school. This year's reconfiguration brings a heightened level of anxiety to our families and elementary students who are shifting to a new building. With this in mind, our summer orientations have placed a particular focus on providing multiple opportunities for families to meet leaders, teachers, and become familiar with their new building prior to the first day of school. This slide highlights some of the goals in support of these successful transitions. At each building, families will be welcomed by their principals and assistant principals, be introduced to their school through fun, engaging activities, ice cream socials, games outside, have tours of the buildings, have opportunities to visit their classrooms and meet their teachers. And in many cases, we actually have school bus at the elementary building. So students who have not had the opportunity to ever ride a bus will be able to go on the bus, sit in a seat, enjoy it with their mother, father, or guardian, whoever's there with them, and be ready in preparation for the first day of school. Next slide, please. I want to draw your attention to the principal-led coffee and conversations highlighted on this slide. In addition to our traditional orientations, these principal-led sessions were developed under the leadership of Dr. Scott and our elementary principals, and provided families an opportunity to meet each building principal and ask questions in a location that was centered in their community. So you can see these were held at Tubman Terrace, Beulah Baptist Church, and today's session was at Christ Church. Our efforts continue next week with our school building orientations, and you can see the dates there for every elementary school and the times, providing an opportunity for our elementary scholars and their family to become familiar with their new building classroom prior to September 4th. And yes, that is a plug for the first day of school, September 4th, and we are so excited to see you on that day. Next slide, please. Similar to our elementary colleagues, our secondary teams are hosting events. You can see here, Poughkeepsie Middle School will host an event out August 25th at 6 p.m. That will be a virtual event for anyone who cannot come on the day during the day from 9 to 1. Our high school will also host an event for their rising ninth graders on August 29th from 3 to 6 p.m. I want to take a moment to thank the principals and their teams for their efforts in organizing these events, prioritizing strong relationships with their families, and a successful launch to the beginning of the school year. Next slide, please. With this next slide, we shift our focus from orientations to our current efforts in enrollment in pre-K and kindergarten. I want to just orientate ourselves to what we're looking at. The light blue indicates our enrollment last year as of September 1st, and the darker blue is our enrollment as of last Thursday, August 14th. You can see that our enrollment is currently down slightly as last year, but I want to make sure it's important to note that our enrollment is ongoing and our efforts led by Dr. Bisty continue to flourish. And she has shared information on our website during our superintendent's briefs. Flyers are shared within the community with our liaisons and at various community locations. She even had the Jumbotron at the Civic Center highlighting our enrollment. We have shared flyers with the Children's Cabinet, and the city's and district's bilingual public information officer has also shared information out in a variety of languages through flyers and radio announcements. Our community-based organizations partnerships, for example, Day One UPK program, also conduct their own recruitment efforts in support of our youngest learners. And with that, I thank you for the opportunity to share with you this evening. And
Thank you, Ms. Turner. For the Division of Instruction portion of this presentation, board members, do you have any questions of Ms. Turner?
Yes,
Myself or Dr. Bisty?
do you have any questions?
I just have a comment. I think it was good, the coffee and conversations with keeping the community involved with the children. Because once you keep the community involved, then they'll be aware of everything that goes on with the children. And also, just to be reminded that it is a reconfiguration and the busing, so it's new to the district. So just keeping them informed, because I know a lot of parents are nervous, they're scared, so just keeping them informed. So that's a job well done.
thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have data on what was the attendance to each of the coffee and conversations that just happened?
I do not have that at the ready, but I can look into getting that information. I know that we have one of our elementary principals here with us this evening who said that it was an outstanding event today. And Dr. Scott is here.
Okay. Wow, okay.
That's excellent because, the
Wow.
reality is you can schedule these events, but if no one shows up, you could say we're informing when we're really not.
Yeah.
So it's important to know how many numbers.
Beautiful, Scott, beautiful. Yeah.
That's okay. I didn't know. Okay.
So yesterday at Beulah Baptist Church, we had close to 60 people.
I know
And then
Beulah gets down.
today,
60,
We
okay.
had around 30, and that was in the rain.
Today at Christ Church was
Today
30,
at Christ Church was about
Okay.
30 families.
and then at Tubman,
Tubman was probably like 12. Tubman wasn't that packed.
okay.
So again, Dr. Scott, thank you so much for that. The community is coming together and it's all, the work that you're doing is just awesome. And they're being informed, so that's great. 60 and 30, 12 at Tubman, we got work to do, but thanks, Dr. Scott.
So what I will say,
I have another question. I wasn't finished.
Yeah.
So the UPK, are we providing transportation to our UPK students?
yes, we are.
Yes.
Excellent. And is that considered within city limits?
Yes, yeah, that is correct. And Dr. Bisty, why don't you make your way to the microphone just to give some updates for UPK in particular, because that has been a question. That's also one of the reasons why we decided to share with you the UPK numbers, because we have received a couple of inquiries from our partners as to their roster and why their roster hasn't been filled. But our total UPK numbers are down across the district. And again, as stated by Ms. Turner, we are advertising and registering daily. Dr. Bissy, you want to address the question regarding transportation?
Certainly. Transportation for all of our UPK partners will be provided this year as part of the bid that we have with First Student. It will include all of the pre-K sites that are both within and slightly outside of the district because they are Poughkeepsie City School District students. So we're really excited to provide that equal opportunity for all of our CBO partners. There are 5 of them, so we have 7 sites of pre-K, which is really excellent this year. We are continuing our efforts in recruitment for all of our UPK sites. I know that our partners are also providing that outreach as well, and we'll continue those efforts. Enrollment is ongoing through March, so we will, with all of our efforts, see some improvement in our enrollment efforts as well.
I just want to highlight how critical that transportation is. I can confirm in work that I've done in the community where there've been families that go through UPK programs and they have to walk a long distance. Such a huge help. And not only that, anytime that we can secure early childhood education and make it remove barriers is incredible. So really excited to hear that. No more questions.
All right, I have one. You already answered the first one, and since you started the presentation with goals, what's our goal for the individual building? What are we hoping turnout will be for those?
Well, I'll
Yeah,
chime in some, and I think
Yeah.
also the
And
principals are here. I see 3 principals that are in the audience today, and they've been very instrumental in planning out their orientations. We expect more to attend. One thing I want to say is commend the principals. We did get some inquiries how we can provide parents who are working during the day an opportunity to hear from the building principals and learn more about the reconfiguration and what to expect. So the coffee time with our building principals doing that 4 to 4:30 time has been beneficial. And as I heard, over 100 families or so decided to take advantage of that. So is there any particular principal, Ms. Penn, Dr. Scott, Mr. O'Connor, want to speak to some of the provisions, some of the plans that are laid out for orientation? Feel free to come to the microphone and speak just in particular our primary buildings. We haven't heard from the primary buildings, so I am going to ask Mr. O'Connell to come up to the microphone, take the time since you're here to support us. This is Ms. O'Connell, newly assigned principal of Truth Elementary. She is started in the district making personal phone calls, introducing herself to her school community, and she's here this evening and off to a good start. So Ms. O'Connell, just give us a brief update as to what we should prepare for, what to expect during your orientation.
So our orientation, given we had 2 summer programs in our building, our custodial staff are working tirelessly to get it ready. However, a lot of the rooms will not be able to be prepared by the teachers, but I really wanted it to be a fun event. So the information that I've been sharing with families, we're going to do Sundays at Sojourner, and tables will have grade level tables set up so the families can get the information. I'll give an information overview, answer basic questions, but I really want it to be a time that all of the families can just come together and have just a celebration and just a great time. So there'll be make your own Sundays, an inflatable slide, a photo booth, book giveaways, and just a great time. Siblings were invited, so I made sure when I contacted families that they knew all are welcome, and I'm hoping that we have a great turnout.
Are we allowed to go for the ice cream?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You can stay there, Mr. O'Connor. 3 through 5. Ms. Penn, why don't you come on up as well?
Good evening. So we too are in the midst of construction, and our custodial team is working extremely hard to make sure that the building is prepared. We currently have teachers in the building this past week preparing classrooms, getting materials ready. We just re-entered the main office so that letters have gone home to parents. Along with this coffee and conversation that we've had the past three meetings that we've had with parents, we do want to be able to make sure that parents are comfortable when they bring their children to the building. We want to make sure that children know what to expect. Our orientation is not only about sharing information, but just sharing the level of this is your new home. Come in, feel welcome. We will definitely have bounce house available, some icy, some goodies, some snacks. We partner with McDonald's. Mr. Wong is a supporter of the school district, and then we support Mr. Wong in his endeavors as well. So he comes out every year to support, to be a presence, to kind of support the children in the return. So children are happy, they get a snack, they get to play, they get to meet their teachers, they get to meet their administration. There'll be music, there'll be games, but it's more so to get the families acclimated to coming into the building. We definitely do share with them entry and egress from the building, what the buses will look like, the times. We have welcome to Warring packets that we share with them. We always have someone on site from the technology department that can support with Parent Square and Infinite Campus. We have QR codes that are available that parents can just swipe in that moment to make sure that they're all signed up, because that is our mode of communication. So it's not only information, but really just having our families be prepared and comfortable so that once they drop off, because they are dropping off, right? They're going to drop off and go on and enjoy the rest of their day. They can be confident that their children are comfortable because they've already been to the building, and we greet the children with smiles and they're happy.
Questions for Ms. Penn before Clinton?
I just want to say, Ms. Penn, that's amazing. My son went to Warren, and you did an excellent job even when he was there. It didn't feel like a school. I'm telling you, what she's saying is not just her just talking, it's community, you know, kids on the floor with the blankets and movie night. So it's when the parents feel comfortable, the kids are gonna feel comfortable, the community is gonna feel comfortable.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Evening.
So I ditto a lot of what my colleagues have said. Hopefully there are a lot of parents watching tonight, so that you will know to come out to Clinton on the 27th. It's going to be from 11:30 until 2:30. We're having essentially a block party. So we have Montgomery Street is shut down. We partner with Christ Church across the street, so there'll be games, bouncy houses. We're having a barbecue. It's our intention to have people come into the building if things are ready. So we have them do a walk through the building. We've partnered with United Way, who's going to be giving away supplies, school supplies. We partnered with Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, who's been giving away book bags. So it'll be giveaways, gifts, times to meet with the staff to get to know us, music, games, bouncy houses, things of that nature. So we look to have a great time. We want everybody that goes to Clinton to come.
That's great. That's great. That's great. So as you can see, board members and community, our district team, our building level administrators have planned out to make provisions for our students. The goal and the objective is to have as many families and students as possible attend and partake, to reduce that anxiety, get used to their surroundings, get used to their new building, where how to walk into the building, where is the cafeterias, learn and see their new learning spaces when they walk into the building on September 4th. So that concludes our Division of Instruction portion of this presentation. I want to thank Dr. Bisty and thank Ms. Turner for your presentation this evening. Next is Dr. Palmer, who's going to speak to preparation for our students with exceptionalities and staffing update. Dr. Palmer.
Good evening again.
Good evening.
This update shows the progress we've made in hiring important staff and the steps we're taking to fill any open positions so all students with exceptionalities get the support they need. One of our biggest challenges in filling vacancies remains certification requirements, especially for teaching assistants and special education teachers, which limits our candidate pool. Despite this, we are working closely with human resources and school teams to continue interviews and focus on retention through strong support, development, and recognition. To support staff growth and meet building-specific needs, we will provide targeted professional learning in partnership with building leaders and the Division of Instruction. This includes training on curriculum such as unique learning system for life skills classrooms, especially design instruction, trauma-informed practices, including therapeutic crisis intervention, TCI, as well as social emotional learning platforms like Panorama and Seven Mindsets. While we've made progress in staffing, some vacancies still need to be filled. Next slide, please. While we made progress in staffing, some vacancies still need to be filled. We are actively recruiting qualified candidates and working closely with human resources to keep all job postings updated and current, ensuring that we attract the right people to provide every student with the support and service they deserve. Next slide, please. We are pleased to welcome new staff members who bring valuable experience and a strong commitment to supporting students with exceptionalities. Their addition, made possible through collaboration with school leaders, HR, and interview committees, strengthens our team and helps ensure high-quality services for all students. While recruitment continues, we're working closely with HR and building leadership to maintain stability across programs. This includes hiring substitute staff, utilizing crisis intervention workers to support behavior programs, and ensuring each special class that requires 2 teaching assistants start the year with at least 1 in place. We're also addressing aide vacancies, especially in classrooms with multiple students needing support. Until those positions are filled, we are prioritizing equitable distribution of available aides so every class with elevated needs has the necessary support. Our focus remains on providing a strong, stable start of the school year for students and staff alike. Next slide. Thank you for your time and attention. We remain committed to addressing staffing challenges thoughtfully and collaboratively to best support our students with exceptionalities. At this time, I'd be happy to answer any questions or hear your thoughts.
Tima, do you have any questions?
I think I have more comments to say than questions at this point. I think we have to wait for the year to kick off. But just recalling that last year, we had a difficult year at Krieger with having vacancies there. And just monitoring that. I'm sure the supports will be in place. But would like some regular updates at some point about how we're doing earlier on as opposed to later on in the year. So we have a good pulse on that.
Okay. Right. Very good. Eleanor?
Just making sure the IEPs are addressed, not so much the vacancies for each of the children. They can get the special needs that they have, and they can get them addressed so they can thrive and be able to graduate.
Thank you.
And this is a question I could ask some of the other presenters. Are there any areas that the state's given us leeway for provisional certifications as they occasionally do? So as you go through this, if there are any places that happening, one of the reasons we have this meeting is so we could communicate to the community. And if there's provisional things come in place, it's easier to just hear them here than try and find them on SED. It's really not obvious.
Yes, if I may, Mr. Greedon, this month actually marks the end of the COVID emergency certifications. That has created a little bit more of a problem, however, and as I will mention in my presentation. Our partnership with SUNY New Paltz has made a pipeline for individuals who are in the internship certificates program. And that has been something that we've been now utilizing to assist in staffing some of our harder positions. The internship certificate just needs an employer to actually sort of support them and state that they will hire them. And with this partnership, we've now been able to successfully get some candidates. And this is something that we're going to be exploring throughout the rest of the school year.
And it's just SUNY, not Marist or
Oh.
Vassar.
Oh, yeah. We are partnering with every college we can, but we've yielded a lot of good results with SUNY New Paltz. We're hoping to make maybe a competition where Marist and Vassar will now hear me saying that SUNY New Paltz has been doing such a great job. Maybe now they'll want to try to compete. So I start giving them some props too.
Right, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Palmer. I'm going to pass the baton to Mr. Hanready.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for letting me speak tonight. It's my pleasure to present some updates that are currently taking place in our HR office and what we're doing right now to set ourselves up for the 25-26 school year. The next couple of slides that you're going to see today are going to touch upon our transitioning and handling the reconfiguration and the large amount of individuals that need to be moved throughout the district. Updating the probationary teacher and tenure lists to ensure that we honor those individuals that are coming up for tenure, implementing an expedited hiring process, which has yielded very promising results, which you also will see on today's board agenda. And we do have some of our new employees here in the audience today, which was wonderful to see them before the start. I'm also extremely excited to speak about the Grow Your Own program that we're going to be implementing this year, which will not only be outreach to our current staff members to yield more opportunities for growth, but also is something that we're extending to the Poughkeepsie community and hoping that our parents and community members will be excited to potentially come into work for the district and have the opportunity to become teachers' assistants and beyond. And lastly, we're going to discuss the strategic collaborations that we've had with colleges and universities and how that also is helping us in our recruitment efforts. Next slide, please. So here in this slide, you'll see some of the efforts that we had to do with the reconfiguration. My staff, the wonderful HR staff, has been essential in ensuring that all individuals that have been transitioned due to the reconfiguration were changed in our Envision system. The reason for this is to ensure not only our position control is accurate, which Ms. Lakai I know will appreciate, but also to show us where we need openings, and our targeting recruitment has to be focused. So we're very happy that this was able to be done. Again, I thank my staff. They're not here tonight, but they are here every day working extremely hard, and I'm very proud of all the work they've done. They've done a magnificent job in making sure that this is ready for the 25-26 school year. Next slide, please. And here we discuss the updating of our probationary tenure list. This is very important because our teachers who are coming for tenure need to be honored. We need to respect the process and make sure that we give them the tenure that they deserve and have earned. Ms. Barbara Williams, who is incredible in the district, is essential in this program. She does each year run a report through our Envision system and make sure that all of our staffing is up to date. She also then makes sure that we run a comprehensive tenure list and shares that not only with school building leaders and our superintendent, but also references it on a weekly basis. And each month we send emails out to our principals to ensure that we get the tenure reports in. And this way we can add them to the board agendas. I do actually have with me a sample of that list, which Ms. Williams was nice enough to put together, as she always does. And this will list all the individuals for this coming school year who are up for tenure. We have one coming up in September that we look to celebrate at that meeting. We have about 3 in October, and we also have 1 in November. So very exciting times coming up in our board meetings to celebrate those wonderful employees that we have here that have dedicated their time to the Poughkeepsie City School District. Next slide, please. And here we discuss the implementing of an expedited hiring process. When I was blessed to be hired here, one of the critiques that I was hearing from individuals is that the hiring process was delayed. And looking into this and meeting with my team and collaboratively working with each other and coming up with ideas, we did come up with this new expedited hiring process, which, as you can see at the bottom, has yielded incredible results of average turnarounds from the point of round 1 to the offering to be 7 to 10 business days, which even in private industry is very quick, but in the educational industry is phenomenal. We accomplish this by each week, our staff, led by Ms. Shannon Tatar, emails all of the department heads and assistant superintendents a list of all applicants for their positions each week, reminding them of those new applicants and asking them to schedule their round ones as soon as possible. Once the round ones have been conducted, the principals and assistant superintendents will send over to Ms. Barbara Williams the listing of individuals that they wish to consider for a round two interview. Ms. Williams immediately will schedule a round two interview within 24 to 48 hours. No matter what time of the day, I will be available to do these. And once we have the round two conducted, and if the individual is being offered, we offer on the spot. For those individuals we wish to move forward with, we ask the individuals to give within 24 to 48 hours a response to that job offer and acceptance. And I will follow up with them if they do not respond to me. And then after the job offer has been issued, Ms. Juliana Emanuel, who handles our onboarding, immediately schedules onboarding and ensures that the individuals are set up for success for day one. Next slide, please. And now one of the most exciting things I'd like to talk about is a Grow Your Own program. I'd first like to thank Mr. Mott, our superintendent, who has been essential in welcoming this new program and was excited, just as I was, to discuss this. Our Grow Your Own program is to address two things. Number one, to address the large amount of teacher assistant vacancies that we have. And also number two, to offer more opportunities not only to our hourly staff, but also to the citizens of Poughkeepsie to have the opportunity to have a salaried position with benefits and grow within the school system in which they live. This Grow Your Own program is offering individuals who are offering becoming teachers assistants the opportunity to have the Poughkeepsie City School District pay for all of the workshops, the 3 that are required for the certification, to pay for their state exam and their certification costs. Once they obtain the New York State Teachers Assistants Level 1, we then would hire them as teachers assistants, and they would be working for the district, now becoming salaried employees with medical benefits and paid vacation. The next part, as you can see, there's a phase 1. Phase 2 and 3 is still in the discussion, but that is to grow the teachers assistants and other individuals now into the teachers of tomorrow. And phase 3, which is something that I'm hoping to have put into place within the next year or so, would be a program in which we take those teachers and then make them into the leaders of tomorrow, assisting them in obtaining their senior district leader licenses and any type of certifications required to become principals and assistant superintendents, maybe even superintendents down the road. We're not looking to get rid of Mr. Mott, though. He's been doing an amazing job and want to keep him around. And lastly, our recruitment partnerships. We have been reaching out to colleges and universities to increase our candidate pool. We've done so by visiting colleges, meeting with education directors, and making sure that our recruitment efforts and our postings are being shared with all those individuals in education programs. As I had mentioned in the beginning, SUNY New Paltz has been incredible in creating a pipeline for individuals in the interim certificate programs to come directly to Poughkeepsie first and meet with us so we can offer them opportunities to work for our district and serve this community. Next slide. And that would conclude my presentation for today. I thank everyone for listening to the excitement of HR. And I ask you if you have any questions, concerns, please feel free to ask me now.
Any questions from Mr. Hanreddy and his update from the Human Resource Department?
If a person wanted, to, if they were a health aide, how long would they have to contact SUNY, or would they do it through the employer? How would that be done?
Do you mean for the Grow Your Own?
Yes.
That comes directly to my office.
Gotcha.
So if any health aides are interested, and we are going to send out notification, we kind of wanted to talk about that in the board first here. What we will be doing is sending out notifications to all of our employees that this Grow Your Own program is in place. We would invite them to come in. And when they do so, then when they come in, not only will we be paying for it, but I'll be sitting with them and doing all their applications with them. So this way they have somebody to coach them through the process, which sometimes can be quite difficult.
I'm just pleased to hear this opportunity. You want to be able to cultivate a pipeline, particularly because it's so difficult to hire for. I just hope that we're balancing our student needs with the right individuals that have the right experience. And so as we make sure that the PD is enriching enough that individuals going into that field feel that that's rewarding, that they feel like they're in the right place because they have the right supports.
Yes, absolutely. I'm a big believer in HR being the kind of guardians at the gate to ensure that we put individuals in the classrooms that will serve the community and the students, but do so in a respectful and mindful manner. So when individuals do come in, there will be a screening process. We're not just going to start handing out this program to anyone. But also in terms of PD, which is sometimes discussed in these meetings, we are in the process of expanding our vector library to include many other professional development opportunities, which will not only meet our federal and state mandated workshops we must comply with, but also will offer all of our staff more opportunities to take readily available free workshops for their personal development.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that we're handing off. What I'm saying is in response to last year, we had some really concerning gaps with students that had high needs. And so just making sure that if I'm the one that's doing that job, that I feel supported, that I'm not just going to be placed in a classroom that is beyond what I can manage, that it is a team effort, and that whatever professional development that there is true to what it is I'm going to see in the field.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm lucky to have Dr. Palmer, who always works very closely with me in terms of working with students with exceptionalities staff. And I know that Dr. Palmer has already been involved in this process and will continue to support us as she always has.
Today, Greg and I went to the Chamber of Commerce and we saw a presentation on alliances from the Alliance. And they have a grassroots medical view of the community and how to move through that, which dovetails into exactly what you're doing on this page when you start to think of athletic trainers and psychologists and everything. So maybe we could look how they're doing those pathway and just say, start to identify where those careers have landing spots with us, but they have the same reaching out to the community and walking people up those pathways to employment in healthcare. But we consume a lot of that healthcare.
No, that's a great suggestion. I appreciate that. And the Chamber of Commerce in all communities is always a wealth of knowledge that I would like to explore. We're in our busy time right now, but once we have
Right, it's actually Brian Doyle and Mary, my neighbor who walks her dog by my house all the time. So I'll get you their names because they're trying to work on the same sort of
that would be
concept.
excellent. Thank you so much. And one last thing, and I think that you'll all appreciate this. When I was discussing the Grow Your Own program with Mr. Mott, who is piloting and driving us through a Cradle to Careers program, when we were discussing this Grow Your Own program, one of the ideas that was pitched, which I think might be a great idea, is to have outreach to our graduating high school seniors. To become a teacher's assistant, you need a high school diploma and then, of course, a certification. You don't need college credits until you want to move up to the level 2 and level 3 certifications. This would be a way in which we could offer our graduating seniors the opportunity to come back to Poughkeepsie in the form of working as a teacher's assistant, where we could offer them job placement immediately out of high school. So this Grow Your Own program is not only just going to target our current employees, it's not only going to target our parents, but also is a pipeline for our graduating seniors to have opportunities. And that's something we're really excited about, giving our students more opportunities once they leave our building to grow and become professionals in whatever career path they choose. But we want to be able to offer them something to come back home and stay right here with us.
Well, thank you, Mr. Handready, for that update. And we're going to continue and conclude with the final cabinet member presenting on transportation technology and facilities update, Ms. Lacotte.
Thank you, Mr. Mott. Good evening, board members, the community. It's a pleasure being here tonight again. And tonight I am going to give you an update on transportation. Mainly it's going to be the operational transportation, school lunch, technology, and facilities. I have a pleasure to have here my team members. So I'm going to invite them in here on the platform. Mr. George Prine, will you come here? That's our facilities director. And I have my two technology members, John Ramahlo and Eric Schmidt, representing technology. Unfortunately, Ms. Shamika Watson and Ms. Dawn Roger could not be here tonight, but I want to thank them for all their effort. And specifically, I want to thank our Director of Transportation who started our new internal logo, our students, our schools, our team, and we're going to continue presenting that in all our internal presentation. In addition to that, I really want to take this moment and thank all our team members who've been working diligently day and night to prepare our facilities, our technology, the business office working diligently, transportation and food service. So we start the first day of school successfully. Therefore, I'm going to start my presentation for transportation. Our transportation team has been meeting multiple times per week to discuss the routing of our students. We've been meeting with our partners. Busride, it's our routing partner, and First Student, it's our transportation service provider. We've been doing daily syncs to continually update information from our student information system, which Mr. Eric Smith right here supervises, and he's been diligently working with Busride. Transportation is all been, and we had an opportunity this year to provide transportation also to non-public schools that are located within the Poughkeepsie city limits. In addition to that, students attending Little Water Prep, Seventh-day Adventist, and Tabernacle are still being enrolled in Poughkeepsie City School to receive transportation. We are entering transportation specifics into the transportation tab right now, and Mr. Smith has been entering an Infinite Campus as quickly as we can. Busride will be providing each school bus with a tracking tablet. Actually, we did receive them. They are sitting in my office right now and ready for installation. And they're going to be coming here on the 24th and 25th and 26th to provide training to our bus drivers and also to our principals. In addition to that, this week, we had an opportunity to download the app. Our principals has been downloaded the app. I tested it myself. It really works great. And they're going to be also coming here to train our staff on how to use the app. The parents are also going to have an opportunity to use that app, and that's more going to be coming with the bus ride information. We put, next slide, please. This data is as of 8/14, and Eric can attest to this. It's been significantly changing every single day. So between 8/14 and today, because every single day we enroll in the new students, the new families are coming to our registration, they enrolling overnight. This data gets updated, so it might be looking different today than it looks on the 14th. Next slide, please.
Could I ask the question here?
Absolutely.
On the bus ride tablets, will the first students, back to this one, will the first student buses also have the same tablets?
Yes.
Okay.
Our tablets has been delivered. They are in my office. The first student tablets are going to be delivered very shortly, hopefully next week. So they're going to be the same sync. It's going to be in the district buses and as well in the first student buses.
And while you're still working on this, if you look at the Sojourn Truth number and the Krieger number, and then if you go over to the first student, it looks like those numbers were swapped, or else there's only 6 people walking.
Very good, Pat. Yes, that is correct.
You swapped the 2 numbers.
That is correct. And then it's being adjusted. If you look at those numbers this week, they probably, and Eric can attest to this, they're very different than were on the 14 because on the daily basis, we enroll in new students.
You just did that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So this is the transportation part. I am going to give the table to our colleagues, Eric and John, to continue the technology update.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to begin by saying that most of our tasks, or all of our tasks, are going to have, we anticipate completion dates between August 25th and August 29th. We're making great progress on all of these. In regard to facilitating the movement of iPads and Chromebooks to new locations, grades 3, 6, and 9 replenishment have been moved and designated and sorted to their respective buildings. Devices shifting between buildings are happening as intended, with only minor delays for construction. Regarding telephone adjustments, directory updates are ongoing. Phone device moves are taking place for staff reassignments. Regarding our Google Workspace, our organizational units in Google Workspace are not changing. Those are remaining the same. The only things that are changing are user groups and email groups, which are being updated for students and staff for the reconfiguration. For ClassLink, we're working with curriculum and instruction to ensure that the catalog of applications match the grade level changes and staff reassignments. And finally, for system integration, master scheduling is ongoing and we're making good progress and anticipating meeting those deadlines.
Thank you, Eric. John, do you want to add anything to, or are you good? Thank you. We're going to continue with cafeteria upgrade progress. All I can say before I start giving you an update that Ms. Watson has been doing a fabulous job working in our school lunch. She's been very key and one of the key component in these ideas that we are providing tonight when it comes to cafeteria upgrades. We were fortunate to have an excess fund balance last year, and we are using those funds to do upgrades on the two cafeterias, on the Krieger and on the Truth Elementary School. And I will give you a little bit an update on that. The renovation for cafeterium tables and decorations are scheduled to be completed by October 30th, 2025 this year. They already doing the measurements, they're working with Ms. Watson, and we are already seeing, and you're going to see a few pictures next. In the meantime, we wanted to assure you that the current cafeteria tables meet the standard regulation standards for pre-K through 5th grade, which will remain in use until the renovations happen. Also, the cafeteria counters are at the standards height of 28 inches, which meets the state guidelines for pre-K to 5th grade in all our buildings. Next slide, please. This is exciting. This is very exciting. This is Ms. Watson provided some designs of how our buildings are going to look, cafeterias before. So if you look on the left side, you see our existing cafeterias, and the big picture there, it shows how it's going to look at Krieger Elementary School. Now we can move to the next slide. This Truth, it's the same. If you can see before, and then we are looking at the big picture of how it's going to look. So all this is planned to be finished by October 30th, and we are really, really excited about this project. The next, I'm going to give the microphone to our Director of Facilities, Mr. Pride, who's going to give you an update on facilities work.
Oh, well. So yes, so it's first I want to say is our custodial staff has been working very hard to get these buildings ready under the circumstances of all the construction. So they're doing a great job, and we'll be ready for school. So for the reconfiguration, we're doing pretty well. Most of these will be done by this week. We'll have a few things to do in early next week, but we will be as we're looking up here. Some of these have already been done. The third floor has been done. Furniture has been moved in. They're working on the second floor. They were waxing it today, so tomorrow they'll start moving furniture in, and then so on. We'll do the same thing for the first floor. Krieger is in great shape. There's a few little odds and ends that are probably in trailers or the containers that are at Smith. Once they start cleaning those out, then we'll be able to finish up that school. And again, Waring has some things that need to move out. Most of this stuff has to go to Truth, so that because they had the summer program, and we just have to wait till that school's finished, and it was a short time for those guys to get that ready. But I believe that everything should be done by early next week, and other than some helping the teachers adjust and do that kind of thing. So we're all being prepared for that as well.
So board members, that concludes our facilities.
Wait, we have this question.
Presentation. Are there any questions of our department that's presenting right now with Ms. Lakai.
It goes back in the, are there Apple buildings and Chrome buildings or are they mixed?
For the most part, the iPad-based buildings are the K through 2 schools. There are some OSWE students that use them in other buildings, and that part of the migration. So the Chromebooks that have moved to the buildings that are 3 to 5, the middle school and the high school, but the elementary, the pre-K through 2 are iPad-based.
And back to the busing, does this mean that the buildings will have a more consistent schedule? Where in the past, some people had crazy, very variable schedules. All right, is a better way of saying it.
Mr. Kai can answer that question, but Dr. Bissy, you want to just prepare to just share what the hours would be for each of the primary buildings, Ella, and the 3 to 5 buildings real quick?
Yes,
Answer your question, that is good.
yes, it's going to be more consistent. And Dr. Bisty was a critical, she did a critical work in assuring will happen. And she was fabulous during the whole process.
Thank you.
I know what she's doing. She's looking up, to make sure we have the memorandum and the dates. I know that this week I sent out a memo to all of our faculty, staff, and students and community sharing the new principles, the start times, the end times. So it is consistent to answer your question. If you have it, Becky, you can pull it up for the community to see. Dr. Bisty is also have located it as well, so she can speak to it while Becky, you pull it up on the screen.
So our grades 3 through 5 buildings, Warren, Clinton, and Smith, will have a start time of 7:45. It'll be our earlier buildings, with dismissal around 2:15 to like 2:20, 2:25. And our pre-K to 2 buildings, Krieger and Truth, will start at 8:30 and ending around 3 o'clock, with dismissal around that same time, 3 o'clock, 3:15.
So in this process, thank you, Dr. Bisty. So what you see displayed, what was sent to our families is a memo that lays out a table of what was just shared by Dr. Bisty, each name of their elementary school start time, end time. In this process, we intentionally staggered the beginning and end time for our primary schools and our elementary schools so that transportation can be provided to all of our families in a timely, efficient manner. Many of our buses will be the same buses that will be dropping off in the morning for our primary buildings will be picking up our 3 to 5 students as well, and vice versa at dismissal time. So, Mr. Creedon, that does answer your question.
Yes.
And what time will the buses be arriving at the school?
We got to go back to the schedule.
So generally what happens is, 45 minutes to sometime an hour. We don't anticipate that, will be morning pickups. As a former principal, there will be time where the buses arrive 10, 15 minutes before the actual start of school. And that's when the operations start to take place with our building principals. They will direct their buildings, or excuse me, should I say the buses to dismiss. And we're asking them to do just that, rather than have 3 or 4 buses unload at the same time, so it's orderly, so students can exit the buses in an orderly fashion. Keep it in mind, we have little people, I used to call them, that are 4 years old in pre-K, getting off the bus, so they have to take their time with their book bags that are bigger than they are, getting off the school bus. So I'm certain many of our principals are thinking about just that, how to unload those buses and the time they will unload those buses.
And each bus is going to be assigned a number. Like if the parents wanted to know which bus their child it's going to be, they can go on the app and they're going to see what number, so they know what number their child is going to be. They're also going to be able to see the timing where their child is going to be dropped in front of the house on the app itself. So if they have to work, like their schedules are on their work. So yeah, it's going to be the whole system is going to be a lot of positive changes for not just the district, for a lot, also the parents who work most of the time. Yeah.
And are we gonna have, when's the training sessions for the parents on how to use the app?
Bus ride, it's gonna send a welcome. We are still working, like we've been almost every day having meetings right now between bus ride for students and our transportation department. A bus ride is gonna send welcome letter to all the parents. And each of the parents, when they download the app on their system, after you load the app and you get that information, you're gonna get welcome instructions how to use the app.
Also on the website, we have videos for our parents on how to download the parent app from Busright. Today, all parents received an email from Busright with directions on how to download and operate the app. If those videos are not there, Becky, don't worry about it. We will definitely get them up. Mr. Benachek, our PR person, is working closely with our partner at Busright to get those information sessions to parents. So that is in the works, but each parent have already received an email from Busright to do just that. If you found the memo that I sent out, Becky, it should have attachments for English and in Spanish, how to download the Busright app for our parents. It is definitely on our website. It's great.
Are we done your reports?
I am done. I just
All
wanted to
right.
say thank you to the team there. If there are no other questions for the,
I have some questions.
Okay.
I was just given space. First of all, I just want to just acknowledge how incredible this is to have had such a collaborative effort from our district to bring folks together that play very vital roles in kicking off beginning of our school year. So I just want to just take a moment to appreciate that. I personally like seeing that because it demonstrates that we're not in silos, how this all comes together, and what a major feat that is to pull this off. And yes, we should clap for that. Well, thank you. Just hearing from our principals, I think that is just so important. I'm almost like, wow, if I had my children younger, I would feel more confident about them starting school with everything that I've been hearing. Even with this talk about the tracking tablet, wow, I don't think we understand how major that is. I don't know if there's any other school district doing this. Probably not. And wow, if Poughkeepsie's doing this, we're like, that's taking it to a whole other level. And I'm appreciating that. Wow, that's amazing. We have to make sure our parents know how to use it though, because I think it could be such a valuable tool. My assumption is that parents are gonna want to really learn how to use this app, especially if it's tracking their kid on the bus. So that's my question about the app itself. So if I'm a parent and I'm gonna get my kiddo on the bus and I'm looking at the app, what is it telling me? Is it telling me where my bus is at? How long the bus is gonna take? What does the app do?
if Dr. Bissy, if you don't mind making your way to the microphone to be more details to the app itself.
Sure. So some information we have about the app is that it won't track the bus exactly because that's for safety reasons. We want to make sure that they don't know exactly where every student is. But it will say how many stops away the bus is from your stop. If there's an update on like the time that the bus is going to be there, it will send a notification to the parent so they know if the bus is going to be late or a little early, if it has to skip a stop, like all that information is there. They can also communicate with like the bus company and the driver and like send some information to the extent where the bus company owner was saying that you can even send like a happy birthday your bus driver if you wanted to do that through the app. So
Wow.
it's really connected to what's going on. And thinking about, right, sorry, I'm going in and out, but something about bus ride that's really helpful for us is that anytime we've said something's not working or we need this from you, they adjust and adapt. They've rewritten code in order to help us with that information. So they're really receptive to the needs. So I think that moving forward, we'll be listening really carefully to what our community needs, and we'll be bringing that back to Busright so that they can help make this an even better app for us.
And I just wanted to add to the Dr. Best's statement, echoes to that, that it's going to sync nightly. So the new information is going to sync nightly. So it's all updated each day. But I also want to just shoot kudos to Mr. Eric Schmidt, who's been working with Bus Ride on the technology part, on that code part, which I don't understand very well, diligently for month and month and month.
Amazing. Listen, it's major. I mean, admittedly, I am a techie kind of person, but from a parent perspective, how many times have my bus run late? I got to get to work. I'm calling, the numbers. Don't get anyone answering, or because Dawn was out doing the rides. This just shifts communications on a whole other level. And fair about the stops. I mean, it's just going to be, again, if I was having my kids little, that I would be so happy right now. I mean, I'm happy for parents that are going to experience it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you for that. Wow. And and let me just repeat why it's so important, because it used to be that whenever you call our transportation person, we just didn't have a backup. You didn't have communications. So if you're a working parent and you're trying to figure out what time your kid's going to get picked up, or if there's a problem or something, that directly gives you communication is phenomenal. Mr. Schmidt, did I say your name right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Awesome. I think the biggest question is, are kids gonna have their Chromebooks on time this year?
We anticipate, yes.
Okay. If there are any delays, are we committing to communicate that?
Yes, yes.
Please, because I think last year we had some delays. It even delayed our ability to do the iReady assessments. It was just a hot mess. I'm hoping that we're not doing that since you all are here. You all sound really phenomenal right now, and I'm feeling really positive about that. So just echoing that, want the Chromebooks. Slide 24, I made a note about that. So let me go back to slide 24. There was, yes, this is the chart. So I looked at Krieger, and I saw there are 453 enrolled students as of today, let's say. And I'm noticing that there are about 213 with first student and about 20 with busing. Is this safe to assume that that means about 50% of students are within the community there of Krieger? And about 50% are being, but I'm asking our folks here.
This is the data that we got on the 14th from the transportation
Yeah.
department, and unfortunately, Miss Roger could not be here tonight
Okay.
due to her personal reasons to answer that question, but I will definitely get back to you. I can get that information and work with her tomorrow and get back to you.
Okay, because if, I'm assuming that whoever's being bused is 1.5 distance of their home. So with that
0.5.
formula.
Yeah.
It's safe to say about 50% live within the community, right? Okay.
Earlier on, they said the numbers could be wrong on these numbers. So that's why I want.
Sure, I'm just noticing
Yeah,
that
that's what we
because
were-
I've heard quite
that's-
a bit in the
That's
past.
what we
that
were talking
kids
about.
From Krieger
Because
bused.
there was only 6 people
Okay.
walking to the one school.
No, but I'm just
So
noticing that. That's
the
great.
numbers are wrong.
Okay. So it's just interesting to see, which students are being shifted over to where. And then what's the difference between the Poughkeepsie City School District busing? I think I know, but I think it's good to just inform the community on what the difference is with first student busing versus Poughkeepsie City School District busing.
The Poughkeepsie City School District busing, it's our own buses that we own in the district. The first student, it's a service provider. We
And is there a
contract.
difference in who gets chosen? Or is there any specification why you would have, or it doesn't matter, it's just.
We always had our own buses, but they cannot meet all the student needs. So that's what we have to outsource as well and work with the service
So
provider.
it doesn't really matter, we just have the buses available.
Correct, but we also have we have transportation in relationship with Dutchess buses also through co-op that we also use their buses as well.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm really just, I'm feeling a lot more relieved. I know there's a lot involved, and I know that our facilities are slated to be ready first day of school, so I won't add the pressure on you now. But it's certainly in the back of my head, making sure that we run smoothly and looking forward to our kids and embracing them. I love the vibe of our principals and the energy you're bringing of welcoming our students. It really starts with your leadership, and trickling down, you know, just warming them up, and saying hello. Thank you for that.
Thank you, and we appreciate your support.
Eleanor?
I just want to say, with Poughkeepsie City School District busing and also First Student, both of them are awesome. My son has taken both of them, and I've never had an issue, with the busing. So that's a good thing for people that are far away. Also, I do agree, having the principals here, they are the managers of the building, and, having them here just to support, because you want to know what your managers, they are the building managers, and once their perspective is good, everything else trickles down towards the parents and the teachers. So it's good to have them doing so much, and that's appreciative, because sometimes you don't get that. So that's a good outlook, and I'm very happy with the management that's here now. You guys are doing an awesome job. Is anything perfect? No, and I don't expect it to be. But as we make mistakes, just keep going so that we can try to perfect the school district, because this is an awesome school district. It really is, and as long as you put your best effort forth, then they're gonna talk about Poughkeepsie, and not in a negative way.
All right, before we move on, I'm glad everybody was clapping, because I felt for the first time like we were at a pep rally and we are ready for this fall. We're gonna take them down, and we're gonna deviate a little, and I'm gonna throw the mic over to you so you can.
So first, let me say thank you very much, Mr. Kai, Mr. Prine, Mr. Schmidt, John, for coming this afternoon or this evening to provide an update. Each of you, as you have received from the board, have done a yeoman's job, and I really appreciate that. I also want to really underscore Mr. Schmidt and John, the work you guys do behind the scenes that nobody sees. That technology piece, that the coding and the conversations that happen taking place at 6, 7 o'clock in the evening with our partners in Bus Right, and trying to make sure codes are connecting and systems are talking and speaking to one another. And there's only one Schmidt right now, and so we need more of him. Certainly, and I'm certain he'll agree to that, but I definitely wanted to give a shout out to you and to John for the work you guys are doing behind the scenes. And of course, George, you coming on board in such short notice and with so much capital work taking place, with a reconfiguration, with transportation, with all the other things that are transpired over the summer. So we appreciate you stepping in, and certainly have demonstrated we made the right choice and moving forward. So just want to thank you all, Mr. Kai, Ms. Turner, Mr. Hanready, Dr. Palmer, Dr. Bisty, and Dr. Dino. Thank you all. And likewise, the principals who are here today, thank you as well. So that concludes this particular aspect of our update. So you all may take your seat. And can we give them all another round of applause while they transition? So as Mr. Creedon mentioned, we're going to deviate briefly. I'm very pleased, I must say, one of my best recommendations for principalship is being honored tonight. When I say best, most effective in terms of her practice, uh, effectiveness, and really getting the results. She may disagree. She may ask for things that, I may have to constantly say no to. But Miss Penn gets it done, and it is a pleasure, truthfully.
Yes.
She gets it done, and I wanted to say that.
Numbers don't lie. She sure does. I got to stand up for that.
I just think it just needed to be said. I mean, there are some that elevate to the principalship and they fizzle out, and she doesn't shrink. The Miss Penn puts kids, families first. Whatever hand she's dealt, she worked to try to get it done. She's built a community at Warring where you walk into that building. It's a sense of camaraderie. It's a sense of togetherness, and it's a sense that academic of high expectation, that is what we are here to do. And it shows in the results. Sometimes you have an anomaly that happens. Last year, the results were great. And the preliminary results for this year speaks the same, that she not only did she sustain it, but they even improved in many cases. So I just wanted to shout out to Miss Penn and made sure that her tenure was on for the day, and we recognized her versus her just getting a tenure, because I think she deserves that. And I've said to her over the weekend that one of my best recommendations for principal, and I'm very honored to recognize you for receiving your tenure today. So wish we had more Miss Penn swinging the bat for the kids of Poughkeepsie. I can call her sometime in the evening or send her a text and see if she's available in the evening time. And more than likely, I'm going to catch her. She's going to be in the building. She's going to be in the office. She's going to be working. So, and with the family at home. So she's juggling and balancing both, getting it done effectively. So once again, I wanted to say that on her behalf. I wanted to come to the microphone and say a few words. She's not going to want to do it, but let's come to the microphone.
Come on, Miss Penn.
Share a few words. One of Poughkeepsie's own elementary principals. It is an honor. I'm very thrilled, very happy for you, Miss Penn, and looking forward to you working in Poughkeepsie for many years to come. So share a few words with us this evening. You might make.
Hello? Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Mott, and thank you, board members, thank you, community, colleagues, everyone in the world who is watching, the community who are watching. This is truly a concerted effort. It's not me getting tenure, it is us getting tenure, because I reach out to my peers, my mentors are both here. My teachers are at home right now watching this board meeting. They trust in my leadership. They trust even when they kind of want to push back. They support our decisions, right? I share all the time. I'm a collaborator. So when I have questions, I ask, hey, this is what I want to do. What do you think? How are we going to manage and move forward? And we do it together. And we are watching our numbers double and triple from the beginning. So it is phenomenal that we are able to move our students. When we had the conversation over this weekend, I said, whether it's me or any other principal, I think it's important for families and our community to realize that our students can, and they will rise to the expectation. Our teachers teach and we put students first, right? So whatever the noise is outside and whatever else is going on in the community, and there's noise, right? There's noise often. and it's loud and it's distracting, but in our building, you know, we are calm and quiet because our students have to learn and they need that level of support and safety. So I thank my teachers, I thank my mentors, I thank my family for supporting the little ones so that I can be at work at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night on Saturdays. And thank you for having me, Mr. Mott. I appreciate your support, and the support of district admin as well.
I saw some flowers. Did I see some flowers somewhere?
I know that is Miss Dorgan.
I thought I saw Miss Jargon bring some
She
flowers.
she and Dr. Scott were my first principals when I was assistant principal. And I call them still. She can't retire because I called her on weekends and holidays.
It takes a village.
Still.
It takes a village. It's, iron sharpen iron. So we got to pour into one another, support one another. And that's how it's done. And I heard you say high expectations will yield to outcomes that we expect. And that's what happens at Warren. And so when we put forth a high rigorous curriculum in front of our students, they will rise to the occasion.
Listen, I tell my parents all the time, and they initially look at me like kind of crooked. I say, listen, they're yours, but here they're mine.
Amen.
And my expectation for them while they're here is the same that I have of my own. I expect nothing less from my own children. So at work, my 300 students, they have the same expectations.
And she's consistent because I hear that from Ms. Penn oftentimes. The students that are in front of you, just think if they were your own, how would you teach? What measures will you take to ensure that they're mastering the skill to be taught on a regular basis? So just again, want to thank you, Ms. Penn. Want to say congratulations. I was actually beckoning someone to bring her flowers while she walked back, and so she can walk down the aisle with her flowers back to her seat. Just give her another round of applause.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I think her family is here. Some pictures. Take some pictures, Ms. Penn. You deserve it. Thanks a lot again. Congratulations.
Absolutely. That is so beautiful. I just want to say numbers don't lie, and Miss Penn's numbers are awesome. They don't lie. We always need room, right, to grow, but just continue to do what you're doing because her numbers are awesome. Community is everything.
Community is everything. Thank you, Mr. Creeding, for that opportunity to at least give a shout out to Ms. Penn. I wanted to mention her before you continue with your agenda.
But we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the consent agenda. Do any board members are requesting anything be pulled from the consent agenda? Why my other board members are still reviewing. We will be pulling off the Senate agenda. The 11.4 section B1, 11.4 section B1.
That was what I was gonna ask to table as well.
All right.
Otherwise, I don't have anything else.
Eleanor, are you good?
Yeah.
All right. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda with items in, help me with this one, Becky, personnel. Excluding 11.4 section B1.
So move.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You know. Good job. That's fine. Action items, or we're now on action items, section 18. Bring back the resolution 26-52 and 26-27. Can I have a second?
Believe it's 26-77.
77, yeah, you're right.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And action, we go to 18.2, correct? 18.2, approval of the contract between the Poughkeepsie School District and the Dutchess County Chamber of Commerce for the Career Action and Job Development Center.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. And I'd just like to say, I like the Chamber of Commerce did a great job today, sort of highlighting all our activities and welcoming Greg to the community and making all the contacts. And it was actually one of the best rubber chicken breakfasts I've had in a while. All right. So the next item is City of Poughkeepsie Common Council Liaison. How do I nominate myself for that? I'll take it until we have new members to make sure something's in place moving forward from today.
Fantastic.
All right. Do I have a
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Yes, I can't oppose. Aye. And we're now moving on to the approval to the adopted 25-26 district-wide safety plan resolution.
I just want to make note that in our approval of this resolution does not include building safety plans. I think there has to be a separate resolution that approves that. So moved.
And I'm sure Becky will keep me out of trouble on that one. All in favor?
Aye.
Second?
You got to second it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. All right. The last one is 18.5, approval of the transportation policy 8410.
Wait, I have a job to do for this one.
Oh, okay.
I'm filling in big shoes now. I'm the policy person.
Oh, excuse me. Thank God.
Yeah.
Go at it. Thank you.
So we had previously approved the policy for transportation back on July 2nd. We did need to make an amendment to it specific to just stating that we are providing transportation within city limits. There is a clause that that our statutory limit is 15 miles. But of course, that is dependent on being within city limits. So that's the only amendment we're making for this policy. We are bringing it forward since transportation is rolling out fairly soon. So we wanted for a first and second reading of that amendment to be done this evening. Did I do a good job? Okay. All right.
Can I call for a motion?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Go. We are now up to superintendent's comments.
Thank you all for a very exciting, informative board meeting tonight. Once again, congratulations to Ms. Penn for her tenure, I am going to yield some time to Mr. Hanratty because I heard him say we have some new staff members who decided to stay for this board meeting. And I see, I believe, 4 people that are here, one of which I'm definitely familiar with, and I'm very excited for her to come on board as one of our, I believe, our AIS math teachers. So, Mr. Hanratty, just real quick, just give a shout out to these individuals, introduce them so they can introduce themselves. Maybe that'd be fine. Your name and position that you will be taking this fall.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dana Sagi, and I will be the AIS math teacher at Waring, and I am so excited to be under the leadership. Thank you. So excited.
Hello, everyone. I am Eric Lopez. I'm going to be the library media specialist at Clinton Elementary School.
Oh, fantastic.
Good evening. My name is Mary Gilmore. I'm the coordinator for students with special exceptionalities.
So congratulations to each of you. Thank you all for staying. I'm certain, but I see Dr. Palmer couldn't stand up fast enough for her support. So congratulations to each of you. Looking forward to you joining the Poughkeepsie family, and thank you for wanting to be a part of our family where there's so many other districts that are available to you. You decided to join Poughkeepsie, and we're thrilled to have you and looking forward to you bringing your expertise working with our faculty, staff, your colleagues, and our students and our families. So congratulations again. So my few comments this evening, I did want to say thank you to all of my team members and all of our building principals for all the work they have done in preparation for the opening of school. We're approximately 2 weeks away from receiving our faculty and staff on September the 2nd. We're planning for our superintendent's conference day to take place at the Bardavon this year. As you all are aware, our high school is under construction. Looking forward to sharing with you in the very near future updates, visuals of the work that has taken place this summer and what the future is going to look like for our new renovated spaces. Our students were expected to receive and welcome them on Thursday, September the 4th. So we still have a lot of work to do, but I want to say thank you to all of our faculty and staff, to all of our families, to all of our students and parents who are listening. Please partake in next week's building level orientations that are going to take place across the district. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding your placement, regarding bus information, please visit our website. The information is there. Contact our central registration office. We are here to aid and assist and make this transition, this school year, as pain-free as possible and as informative as possible. New beginnings start today. We want to thank you at this time, Board President, for this opportunity for comments. And I pass the microphone on to you.
You have a memorial.
Dude, let me just read this. Thank you for reminding me of that. Oftentimes, we recognize individuals who have dedicated their professional career to the Poughkeepsie City School District. Miss Catherine Scanlon departed, and we want to recognize and honor her at this time for the services that she has rendered to the Poughkeepsie City School District. As written, she departed on July the 28th, 2025. But we also, again, want to recognize and honor family, friends, and the time she has spent here in Poughkeepsie. For your reference, that is 11.6 in our agenda. we're going to take a few moments of silence to honor her passing and to respect the time she had rendered to the Poughkeepsie City School District. So at this time, let's just offer a moment of silence. Thank you very much. We recognize you. Back to you, Mr. Reed.
Fatima?
I just want to publicly thank Principal Penn for all the diligent work that she is doing at Waring. There are two things you've said that where we have full alignment in terms of our humanity. One, you talked about really treating our kids like they are our own. We really should. It just takes it to a different level when you recognize and understand that this could be your child's, right? So that's one. And two, when you had a previous presentation you had done for us, you talked about your approach is really looking at the individual student and sort of analyzing and assessing from that perspective, and truly taking on that care and understanding sort of what our strengths and areas where we can build upon, and that's your strategy. Clearly, you're demonstrating success. And so I just want to highlight that your approach with you and your team are showing results. And that's for me in anything I do related to the school district and even just in general in my life, I want to see our kids succeed. You know, our next generation really has to be set up so that they can have thriving lives, and you are contributing to that. So thank you for that. I did speak with the superintendent earlier today with regards to the regions. You know, again, I know it's going to take some time, but we got to do some culture shifting in our districts. You know, with that theme of treating our kids like they were our own. I really want to see that throughout our districts. You know, when I arrived today, just doing my own parental responsibilities, there wasn't a warming up to greeting our kids for their regions. You know, they've been away for the summer. They're coming back to take their regions. And we want to encourage our kids to pass their regions because we don't want this repetition of them failing and then they got to keep going, and get to senior year and they got all these regions to make up. So just to say, we got to do a little better about making sure that our kids feel welcomed. And so I hope that that will change. That are my comments for this evening.
Eleanor?
Just want to thank everyone again and say it takes the collaboration of everyone in this room to make this Poughkeepsie City District great. And we're only as good as our foundation. So if our foundation is not strong, there's no way that our leaders can be at the top. It crumbles. So once we get our children set right, then we go to the middle with our teachers, and then the managers, which are the principals, do what they have to do, which they're doing an excellent job. We can only do what we can do by having everybody's collaboration.
Thank you very much. Once again, it really was a great meeting tonight, the enthusiasm, everybody's getting ready for the start of school. I would want to point out, I always pick a crazy thing. I will say, Dana used to supervise me a brief year ago, and now we sort of changed roles. And now, but she's replacing Amanda Lewis, who I coached when she was a student at Poughkeepsie, and then we were co-coaches the last 2 years when we were coaching. And so we have to keep that sense of community alive when people coming back, keep that community memory alive. And I'm starting out a great day with the Chamber of Commerce and Greg, and it was hopefully we're off to a great start. And with that, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.